Pointy Star Vio, and the next underplayed deck of the day is Vampires. We're going to just jump into the deck list first because I figured that'd be a nice way to start, change it up a little bit. We've got ourselves 2 Vampire Lord, 3 Shadow Vampire, 3 Vampire Duke, 3 Mezuki, 2 Lyla, 3 Vampire Killer, 3 Sorcerer, 3 Jiangshi, 2 Ryko, 2 Ghostrick Lantern, 2 Mary. For spells, we've got 3 Book of Life, 1 Rhoda to get to our killer, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Foolish Burial, 2 MST, 3 Emperor Kingdom, and 1 Vampire Shift. Extra deck, we've got ourselves 2 Adreus, 3 of the Crimson Knight Vampire Bram, 2 Shark Fortress, 1 Key Beetle, 1 Shark Knight, 1 Extinction or Exiton if it really bothers you as much, a Lavalval Chain, Degusto Emerald, and Abyss Dweller, along with 2 Gaia Chargers since this guy resummons himself in defense. Now, reasons for choices. I like having the second Vampire Lord because I always run out of vampires, and he allows me to make the other things like Tiers and such, which I actually ended up cutting, but I mean, he was there for those reasons. I also am running 2 Shadow Vampire, or 3 Shadow Vampire, so I can special summon 1 Dark Monster from my hand. So, or deck. What he does is he just pulls the cards out of my deck so I can use them. Duke is the main card, since special summoning him is really good. It gets you to all your cards, it lets you get some summons, and he just lets you mill your opponent's cards. It's really good. I'm playing 3 Killer because Killer, in my opinion, was just a Vampire card, which means I could search for it. At first I thought that it was just normal to run him, and then I saw that it wasn't, but I just really needed the extra level 4s, and he was a dark level 4 that I could search for and use Rhoda to search for, so he stayed because he worked. I'm also using a little mini Ghostrick engine, the 2 Lantern, 2 Mary, and 3 Jiangshi. I like those because they are tribute cards for my vampires. Just like the Lyla and the Ryko gets the vampires in the graveyard. Yeah, other cards I tested, Zombie Master, that did not work so well for me. I was not a big fan of them. Vampire Grace, I did not like her at all. I tried 3 of these, and I tried Jack Frost and more Marys, but once again, those were not working for me. So, without further ado, we'll just jump straight into the actual video. Alright, so we're going to start in. We only actually recorded 4 duels. I did a bunch of other ones, and I got a lot of really cool wins, and a couple losses that were just come from misclicks, as well as 1 or 2 actual real losses. This deck's been really fun, and I've actually been considering building it in real life. First one we played was against a Chaos-Sworn deck. It was like Chaos Dragon Lightsworns, and I opened with 3 Vampire Killer, which is interesting. The fact that I was playing vampires and I opened with 3 Vampire Killers, very strange. And this Chaos Dragon deck really terrified me because he got great opening cards. I just got really, really lucky in this duel. I guess lucky's not the right word to put it, but making him go minus from the prime material because of the other card was just really, really detrimental to him. I did make 1 small misplay here. I should have summoned the Vampire Killer, tried to kill the Darkness Metal first, and then used Dark Hole. But either way, I ended up killing Darkness Metal, and I actually did do really well in this duel. Attacking into that, his Tempest returns, and his turn, he draws Wolf, which just kind of sits there looking dumb. That attacks into me, I take damage. He really doesn't want to banish his Light Pulsar and his Red Eyes that's in the graveyard. So he's just leaving those there for now. And so I'm just trying to stall for turns. I was not actually that certain that I was going to win this duel, but I got really stinking, I'm just going to flat out lucky. I got 800 life points left. If he could have been able to summon that wolf or something, I would have been a goner. Book of Life works wonders. Banishes that Plague Spreader before I have issues with it. Summons Sorcerer, summons Mezuki. Makes Silent Honor's Arc. Steal Prime Material, and just kind of do damage. His turn, he's able to do some more fun, silly things, like special that, summon the Tempest. Attacks me with Tempest, I detach. And then, yeah, he just kind of ends. My turn. Wonderful things go down. I set my Ryko. I attack and suicide. His turn. He Tempest back to hand. It keeps recycling. He summons, he mills, then he uses Tempest and summons Tempest, and then he attacks. And then I was able to use Ryko to blow that up, mill cards. And so pretty much I just get really lucky in this duel, so yeah. This is where I turn the duel around. Start banishing stuff, summoning things, getting more plays. Go Lavalval Chain because I knew that card would go back to his hand, and he only had 1 dragon in the graveyard. Also, sorry about that fan. This computer's been having issues recently, and I'm actually getting a new one really soon, so you shouldn't have to worry about that kind of issues. But, yeah. I just keep sending cards, and I pretty much own right here. I summon the Shark Fortress, and then he chains Waboku. I just kind of set go. His turn. I'm only running one of that card now. I was running 3, but I took it down to 1. It's not that good because you can only have zombies on the field, and you don't always have zombies on the field like I do right now. I've got a sea serpent and a fish. Yeah, it was really cool. I pulled out Adreus, new Shark Fortress on the Adreus. He Fiendish Chains. I don't really care. I detached just so I can get the card in the graveyard. Mezuki pulls it back, and then Mezuki pulls that back. And I could have made another Adreus and popped that and attacked. I just was afraid of a Gores, so I decided not to do that. And yeah. Attacks for games. That was that duel. We'll move on to the next duel. Okay, move on. Chronomaly. This was pretty interesting duel as well. Once again, I'm really loving this build a lot. It's really fun to play. The total deck cost was just somewhere just under like $100, so it's not that bad. I did get a new job, which I'm going to be devoting completely to either building decks or getting better software just so I can keep videos coming for you people. Yeah. It was just really fun. This Chronomaly duel was terrifying. There are some duels where you just feel like you shouldn't win. This was definitely one of those. He got everything in the world, and it was thanks to stinking very miraculous thing. Thanks to Hobening that I survived this duel. I mean, yeah. Just my turn. I dark hold his field. He just wanted to use the Chronomaly so he could have Chronomaly cards to do banishing and such for. But I was, yeah. He chains Maxi, gets, I think, 2 cards this turn. I attack, and then I believe I exceeded into Laval. Yeah, and I pitched a card. Laval Chain's probably one of the most expensive cards in this deck if you are willing to build, or wanting to build it. I really love this deck. It's so much fun to play. It's turns like this, which is why it's so much fun to play this deck. Because normal people don't play the Ghostrick Lantern. I'm lucky that he actually chose to use the Shark on himself as opposed to waiting till he upgraded the Gaia. If he would have used that on the Gaia, I would have lost because he attacked and I used Lantern. And Lantern saved my life. He's got 2 MST face down. I did not know this at the time, but thank goodness that he did. I summoned that, used that, summoned that. I did not use his effect because then I wouldn't be able to attack. I popped that, attacked over the other one. I sing and set the card pass. He destroys my card. His turn. Things are terrifying. He drew a warning that he can't use because he got 15 left. He pulls back both cards, attacks over my face down so I can't do anything with it next turn if I have a vampire. I draw a vampire. I use that. I pop that. I tribute for that. Special from the grave. And this is just where life is great. Pull out the Shark Fortress and he scoops it up. It was another wonderful, fun duel. We move on to versus Monarch. This was a 50 card Monarch, or a 55 card Monarch. But the reason why I decided to show this duel was because, first of all, it was a really cool duel. But second, I looked at his deck, and there were really, no bad cards. There were some iffy choices, like maybe the Spectre, but he was running a lot of Ghostricks, and maybe the Scrap Iron. But in the end, he was running a really decent build for having 55 cards in it. I mean, there are, few cards I would cut. That's how good it was. He drew Valor, first Monarch, tribute stuff. There's some really cool things that go down in this duel. He attacks over me. That chain. My turn. I believe I Dark Hold an empty field. Yeah, Dark Hold 1 card. Monarchs really need their 1 card. And so I did not want to have to deal with him having that 1 card, but he still had the Battle Fader. I use that and I steal the Monarch and I end. This card right here, screw it. Look at that. This guy's amazing. He's thinking Monster Reborn. You get to take any monster. Yeah, for the rest of the turn, the only monster that can attack is the one you pulled out. But that means nothing. So you can wait till main phase 2 to Monster Reborn, like I did. And this guy right here just stays on the field forever. It's such wonderful things. I tribute for that, Monster Reborn him for the XYZ, pull that card out of the grave. I end. His turn. He summons the Caius. blows up my stinking dude. It's just really, really, really cool things. This deck's so much fun to play. Some people are saying it's a little slow. It's only slow if you draw bad. If you draw like the milling cards and you mill perfectly, or if you draw enough monsters to be able to pull things out, you can do really well. I mean, these duels were against some really decent decks, if not good decks, and so, yeah. Oh yeah, you like the background? It's Rachel Alucard from the game series Blaze Blue. She's a vampire, and people call her Rabbit because of her pigtails. She's a pretty cool character. Check it out. We'll move on to the last one, which was actually the first duel I did with this was a mirror match. And for some reason, whenever I duel, it's always a mirror match. He was running some interesting cards like the Ill Blood and the Spirit that makes everyone die. Yeah, he was actually also playing Dark Arm Dragon, which I did not play. And I got lucky that he used some of these cards. If he had not attacked directly, I would not have gotten that Lantern. And like I was saying earlier, every single thing that happened throughout this duel kind of helped me. I was able to use these cards to pop those cards and just different things. It was, yeah. You're wondering why I chose not to XYZ summon. It was because I'd rather had the extra monsters in the graveyard from my Lyla than have an XYZ. I summoned the Mezuki, Vampire Shift for that, just because I could pull that out of the grave. Tribute to XYZ summon. I attacked that. Then I pulled, I banished his monster to summon that. And I was going to steal his monster, but I decided, or I realized that he didn't have anything I could really steal. So, yeah. That Adreus, though, popping that field spell. My turn, Vampire Killer, so good. Especially in the fact that this is a mirror match. Attack, attack. His turn, I was really confused on why he did what he did. But he Pyramid Turtles, and he rams into my monsters, and I was kind of confused on why he did that. But the fact that he did really hurts because he has two darks in the grave. He Pyramid Turtles for that. That attacks into my monster. He doesn't take damage because of Killer's effect. Now he has 3 in the grave, and he throws Daddy on the field and blows up everything. And I just start getting owned. Once again, I'm really sorry about this computer fan. I'm trying to get a new computer. I should be getting one really soon, and it will be devoted to nothing but this, so you won't have to worry about any kind of issues like this. We'll just keep going on. He gets some really scary cards. Oh man, I was really terrified a lot in this duel. I could have upgraded my monster, and the second I did, he would have killed it with the Daddy. I was going to upgrade it and attack over the face down card and deal him damage, but I didn't. If I had, the duel could have ended potentially. It's just I didn't. Yeah, I was just kind of nervous. He started to do, in a turn or so, he starts to do like a play that he's really just trying to like push for game. Yeah, that Goblin Zombie. I might actually start using that. I don't know why I wasn't in the first place. It searches for your vampires because they all have crap defense, just like the Pyramid Turtle does. I don't know. I was messing around with different builds, and this is the build I found the most fun. That card steals my Killer. He was going to attack, but then he realized that it doesn't matter if both my monsters die. My turn, I use that, pull out of my grave this. Either way, I would have won this turn just because I had the Vampire Duke. I could have made Adreus to get rid of Daddy, and then I would have won. So no matter what I had game next turn, it was just a matter of he had Tribute summoned for the Adreus as opposed to doing anything else, or for the zombie card. So yeah, that was the duels, that was the deck. I hope you really enjoyed it. Sorry about the background noise once again. Check out Blaze Blue if you haven't. Thanks a million to all the people who are watching this right now, and we'll just move on. Next week's video will be on a deck in which these warriors are fighting with a tag-out technique that'll continue getting all of their bonus effects. Tell me below what you think this deck is, and thanks for watching. Yeah.